What's up everybody, jimmyispromo here, back again with another awesome video, and today let's talk about stabilization in the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. Now right now I'm using the front-facing camera on the Galaxy Note 8. I'm also at the park, I'm riding on my Segway Mini Pro, and even with me on wheels, this camera is still picking up a little bit of the bouncing. So what is one of the things you'd be able to do to take away some of the bouncing that's happening when you record videos? So either you're doing the front-facing or the rear-facing camera if you're shooting anything with your Samsung Galaxy devices. So even though the Samsung Galaxy devices has optical image stabilization built in all the different cameras, and it is the premium smartphone in the market today, one of the ways you'll be able to eliminate all the bouncing is going to be with the Steadicam Volt. This is the one that I use as my stabilizer that came from Tiffin. Now there's a lot of other stabilizers out there you'll be able to get, like let's say the Osmo and some other ones as well, but today I'm going to show you guys what it looks like with me on the Segway right now with just a phone in my hand. Then here in just a second I'm going to put it inside of the Tiffin Steadicam Volt, and then right after that I'm also able to go walk, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when you are walking with it on and also off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys a little bit more of how you'd be able to set up your Steadicam Volt. So now let's put this phone in the Steadicam Volt. And so now I've got the Galaxy Note 8 inside of the Steadicam Volt, and so you can see that there's quite a bit of a difference to where there is no bouncing around. So I'm still able to go through all these different cracks that is on this cement right over here, but I'm able to keep everything extremely steady. So even if I was to slow down enough, that is me bouncing up and down, not the camera. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn around and I'm able to just show you guys just a little bit more of the stabilization of the Steadicam Volt. So now I've switched to the front-facing camera so you can see just how smooth you're able to get your shots. And so the nice thing about the Steadicam Volt versus the Osmo is that this one is able to use a lot less battery, because the Osmo has about 3 different axes that it is using its battery source on. This one is actually just using it pretty much almost at one source. And then the rest of it is able to be panned with my thumb. So the great thing about it is that if I wanted to just pan it over to the right-hand side, just with a little swift move of the thumb, it's able to capture it and extremely smooth. So, you know what, let's go a little bit on the grass and let me show you how well this is able to perform. So here I am, whoa, I almost fell. So I am bouncing all over the place with my Segway Mini Pro. But the camera right here is being extremely smooth. So this is actually doing an extremely good job for going off-road. Let's get back up on the sidewalk. All right, so now I'm off of the Segway, and what I'm gonna do is just go for a little bit of a walk and show you guys exactly what this looks like if I was able to walk. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go right around this tree, and I'm gonna spin the phone right around it too to show you the access of being able to do what you can do with your thumb. So as you can see here, it's pretty smooth with the stabilizer, and so I'm not trying to, you know, stop any type of a little bouncing around with my walking. Pretty much everything you see is exactly what you get with the stabilizer. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this right off of the Steadicam Volt, and I'm gonna switch it over into handheld. And so again, here is the Segway Mini Pro. This is pretty much where I started off. There is the Steadicam Volt. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk, do exactly what I did from before. And so now you can see here all the different bouncing around. So I'm not zoomed in. This thing is just sitting as normal. This thing is on auto. I'm not trying to, you know, take away from anything in terms of my walk. So I tried to pan around the tree, and you can see it was a little bit harder just because it's on my wrist. But when you have the Steadicam Volt, you're able to do that. So I'm not trying to move around, not trying to overcompensate for anything. This is just a normal shot. This is exactly what you would get if you were filming with the Galaxy Note 8. Now here's the thing, so the optical image stabilization in the Galaxy Note 8 is definitely supreme versus some of the other competitors that's out there. So there's really nothing you can do. It's really good for pictures, and when you're standing still, you know, if there's something in front of you, even if your hand was to shake just a little bit. But when it comes down to walking, there's just really nothing you are able to do with the optical image stabilization that's in any type of phone here today. So let's actually head back home, and I'm going to show you guys how you'd be able to set up your Steadicam Volt to work with your Samsung Galaxy devices and pretty much almost any other phone. So now that we're back home, I wanted to show you guys how you'd be able to set up your Steadicam Volt. But not only that, but what all is inside of this box that is able to stabilize your smartphone. Now the cool thing about it too is that it has an attachment that you'd be able to plug in for your GoPro. So if you guys are interested in this product right here, you'd be able to go below the video, click on the link, and it'll take you over to Amazon to get yourself one of these Steadicam Volts, or you can pop over into Best Buy, because I've also seen it inside of Best Buy as well. Now there's a little pouch that's inside of here, and this is how I store my Steadicam Volt every single time I've ever used it, and it goes inside of my camera bag. Now here's the Steadicam Volt all folded up. You'll also have a compartment, a little holder for your 2 different batteries that you're able to recharge. So you'll place your 2 batteries inside of here, and then with this cable, you'd be able to charge up the batteries that come with the Steadicam Volt. Now, if you want a little bit more information than just this video, you'd also be able to read your user manual to set up your Steadicam Volt. Also, a few different spare parts that would be used as grippage for holding your phone in the little clip. These are the 2 GoPro attachments you'd be able to clip into the little handle, and then this will be able to lock your camera into place. And then here are the little tiny baby weights. This is the counterweight of being able to stabilize your guys' smartphone. So this right here is where all the magic is at. So make sure you don't lose any of these pieces because they are able to individually also pop off. So that right there was half of them. And then this right here is only just 1. Now what you want to do is on the very bottom over here, you have a little screw slot. And this right here, your little counterweights also has the screw portion that once you put it inside of there, you'll be able to screw this on and it's able to counterweight everything. So what I would do is not have all of the different weights sitting on top of there because you don't want to keep on spinning the weights itself. Just place on just maybe a few of them. And once it's sitting on there, now you'll be able to add in the additional weight if you need it. So at this point, you will open up the handle. There's a little metal piece right here that is for holding it into the place of the arm. And once you bring that down, you're able to bring out your little handle right here. And so now it'll look just like this. Now, here is the very top where the clip is. And once you open this up, this is where you'd be able to have all the clearance you need to pretty much place in any smartphone inside of there. Also, here is the power on right here. If you're able to push that on, you're gonna see that some of the lights are moving around. And then now here goes the handle going all crazy and berserk. So here's the thing though, you want to be able to hold on to this handle without it kind of running all over the place so it doesn't hurt any type of the gyroscopes or anything inside of there. Now up over in the front, there is a blue light, and what the blue light means is that it's using all of its power to stabilize the phone. Now if you want to have a little bit more power and able to do it kind of like a movie mode, then you're going to click on that power button twice. And it's going to turn on a little green light. And what that does is it's a way to not use all of its power from, the battery and stabilizing. It wants you to operate it just a little bit more so you can have more control of the stabilization. Now, before you turn this on and before you get everything all weighted out, what you want to do is place in your phone, and I'm going to show you how you'll be able to balance it. Now, once you place your phone inside the Steadicam Volt, you just want to hold on to the handle and then you're going to let go. Now, what's going to happen is if it is able to tilt over to the left-hand side, then that means that the weight of it is countered, and that just means that you have to push your phone to the right just a little bit more. But because you can see that this one is actually doing very well with stabilizing on itself without it even being turned on, you know that this is pretty leveled out. Now, the next step you want to do is place it sideways, hold on to the handle, and then you let go. And what's going to happen is if you see that it is twisting and moving around, right now it looks as if this bottom over here is going down first. So all you have to do is just take off one of the counter weights. And when you take it off, then what you're going to want to do is hold it one more time and then just see how it does with its weight. Now, if it seems as if it is still going down over there, take off just a little bit more weight. And then now this is where you can kind of make it, get a little bit easier. So now that it's moving over to the right-hand side, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this weight, I'm going to add it right back onto there because all I wanted to do was just have one more added on. And the great thing is also on the very bottom, you'll have this little spindle. And what you can do is you can actually bring the weight up just a little bit higher. So as you bring the weight up, it's bringing more weight towards the very top. So in this way, you'd be able to get this thing balanced out just a little bit more. So here you can see that it's not really moving around too much. It is going over to the left-hand side just a little bit if you look over at the top. So all I'd have to do is just move my phone over just a little bit over to the left-hand side. And the moment you know that you're able to shoot is when you let go. If it does absolutely nothing, then this is able to be perfectly stable to when you do turn it on with that power button, now it is able to go off of those settings to stabilize the phone. And then now once it's all leveled out, you're able to actually move it and bounce it over left and right. So I'm moving just my wrist. I'm moving this little handle left and right so then I can get closer, further away. And then right here is where you put your thumb. So if you need to pan it just a little bit, then you just pan it just a little bit with the thumb, and then you're able to take all your different pictures. So this one right here is a very good option if you don't want to go out there and purchase the Osmo. So I will tell you right now that the Osmo takes up a ton of battery. So you want to make sure that once you get that, you want to have extra cash to purchase 2 or 3 more batteries. This one right here, it's only using just a little bit of battery just right here with this little handle. And also too, it's all being done mostly by counterweight. So that's where most of the battery is being compensated to where it's not, able to put everything towards the phone. You have weight that's counterbalancing it. So that's why it's able to save more battery. Also, you're not going to use it with a little thumb and moving around a joystick. And then a lot of times it might move really fast or jitter. Once you practice with this one a little bit more and you use your thumb to kind of pan everything, you're able to get that movie-like experience, because you have to remember Steadicam was the Steadicam that was used to shoot the movie Rocky. So this right here is something that I definitely, think that everybody should have. If you guys are somebody who is doing vlogs, if you're shooting a lot of different video with your phone, it's just a way to get a good, clean shot. And you've seen earlier in the video how I was able to show you all the differences, even with me, something on wheels with a Segway going up and down with the sidewalk that I was doing, because you can see my body move, but not the camera jolting up and down. And also too, if you're walking, even though the optical image stabilization on the Galaxy Note 8 did a very good job versus the other competition. So I almost would take anybody's competition, grab out an iPhone and start walking and recording. It will not even be close to this one with just the phone working, even without the Steadicam Volt. The Steadicam Volt is just the icing on top of the cake, and the cake is already good to go. So I hope you guys have liked the video. Again, if you guys are interested, go below the video, click on the link if you want to get yourself the Steadicam Volt. And outside of that, make sure you guys give a huge thumbs up and hit on subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.